If the members and guests would please take their seats. Today is Tuesday, April 20th, 2021. I hereby call the local committee to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Representatives Calfee, Carr, Carter, Chisholm, Gant, Helton, Hodges, Holsclaw, Leatherwood, Love, Manis, Miller, Moody, Moon, Reedy, Rudd, Sexton, Shaw, Williams, Vice Chairman Wright, Chairman Crawford.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Let the record reflect that Representative Carter is excused. Is there any personal orders or Chairman Moon, you're recognized?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to wish my wife a very happy birthday. And yes, we did have to go before the judge to get married. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other personal orders? Seeing none, Chairman will take privilege here and wish my father. Yesterday was his birthday. He is 75, and I thank the good Lord he's still with me. So today we have 7 bills on the calendar. We will move through them as quickly as possible. House Bill 1 is House Bill 1201. First agenda item is Chairman Whitson's. We have received a request from Chairman Whitson to take this off notice. Without objection, we'll take House Bill 1201 off notice. Item number 2 today is House Bill 873 by Representative Bricken. Do I have a motion? Proper motion in second. For the record, last week I asked Representative Bricken if he would roll his his bill to today till we receive the vote of 2/3 majority, and my office does have that. So at this time, Representative Bricken, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This legislation applies to Coffee County. It would allow them to be exempted from land assessment fees when they foreclose on property in the county. And there's just one area of the county where they do some tax foreclosure on, and this would exempt them from the land assessment fees if they tax foreclosed on that property.
You've heard the explanation from the sponsors. Are there any questions? Representative Rudd, Chairman Rudd, you're recognized. Pass. Okay. Any other questions? Seeing none, Representative Shaw. He has called the question on the bill. We're ready to vote. All those in favor of House Bill 873, please say aye. Those of no. Your bill moves on to calendar and rules, sir. Item number 3 on today's agenda is House Bill 1412 by Representative Hawk. Representative Hawk, you're recognized. We got a proper motion in second.
Thank you, Chairman and members. And I understand that you're quite the cook, Mr. Chairman. So I appreciate what you did. I hate I wasn't able to partake, but maybe next time around. So Chairman Crawford,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. House Bill 1412 is a bill that's passed the Senate, but I have gotten some communications from several members that there may be concern. The concept of the bill gets at the source of the urban growth boundaries that we've been talking about 20 plus years ago, that with some of the latest annexation laws that we have passed have made some of those urban growth boundary decisions 25 years ago obsolete. So this is a bill that tries to address that. It's been narrowed down even further that the amendment essentially does nothing, but I do know that we've got some concern from members on this committee, and we're getting some letters sent to folks across the state that are still concerned about this. So I would like to have further discussion about this throughout the summer and even going into 22. But at this moment, with your indulgence and the committee's indulgement, I'd like to take this bill off notice with the purpose of further discussion.
Representative Hawk, I do see that it has an amendment. Do you want to put the amendment on it before we take it off notice?
I would love to put the amendment on, so if it does show up in the tracking, people will know exactly what it is. I believe the code is 4583, Chairman and members.
We have a proper motion and second on amendment 4583. Is that the correct tracking number?
That is, Chairman and members.
We have a proper motion and second. Is there any questions on the amendment? Seeing none, question has been called on the amendment. We're ready to put the amendment on the bill. All in favor of amendment 4583, say aye. Opposed, no. The amendment is on the bill, and we will honor your request and take this bill off notice.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to working with you in the committee.
Off notice. Item number 4 on today's agenda is House Bill 1515 by Representative Cochran. Proper motion in second. I do see some amendments. Representative Cochran, if you could give us the amendment you're going with.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The amendment drafting code is 5925. Is that what you have?
5925. Proper motion in second on the amendment. You're recognized on the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And this amendment makes the bill. It's essentially what this bill does is it corrects an issue with the hotel motel tax. Many years ago, when the tax was initially implemented, I think it was in the late 80s. It was the way that original law is written is that it puts a cap. I believe around 5%, and then it's really the city or the county, whichever one gets to it first. Since then, as many of you are aware, really, I guess as all of you are aware, we've done a lot of carve-outs. And so a lot of times you'll see a particular city or a county come in for a special hotel motel tax. Well, it's the opinion of the Attorney General that technically all of those carve-outs are unconstitutional. And so they're at risk in the future if anyone were to bring a lawsuit. What this bill does is it protects any of those that have been passed previously. So it codifies that, it protects those, and then it gives us a system going forward where, for one, municipalities and counties will not have to bring these decisions back to the General Assembly. It caps at 4%. So from a city or a county, the maximum that they can go is 4%. Now, again, if your city or county already has more than that, will not be effective. But from going forward, if any new tax is put in place, a maximum from the county 4%, a maximum from the city at 4%. It's adopted locally. It does not come back to us for approval, and it just gives us a uniform process going forward, so we don't have to do those individual carve-outs. But that's what the amendment does. That's what the bill does.
Thank you for the explanation on the amendment. We are now ready for questions. Chairman Williams, you're recognized.
Thank you, Representative. I appreciate the bill, and you and I talked about it, but when you said something, I got a little bit confused. So I'm hoping you could help
No,
me.
sure.
So I know it. We did look at these. It was kind of a first come, first serve.
Yeah.
Does this amendatory language change that at all, or as it relates to the 4%, every new entity that comes forward, or if you were last in your community and your municipality wanted to come and do the 4%, they could do that now without coming here?
Absolutely. That is correct.
Okay.
Representative Williams.
So if my county is at 5% right now, and my city, and they were last across the finish line, or the city was last across the finish line, the city could now by ordinance pass an ordinance and have on city a 4% city tax in addition to.
Representative Cochran.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman Williams, that is exactly correct, and that is the exact situation actually in my home county. So
Okay.
so McMinn County got to that first. They did 5%, and then so the city of Athens would be able to do that additional 4%. That's
Chairman
correct.
Williams.
So this body in years past have not really prohibited or limited when we have an ordinance and somebody saying they wanted to do this, but we always did look at a formulary that said, is the addition of all these additional percentages, does it exceed 19, depending on who you talk to or who the chairman of the day was, or 20%? Is any of that taken into consideration with this bill?
Representative Cochran.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And yes, and so we actually brought to the table Tennessee Municipal League, Tennessee County Services, and the Hospitality Association. And so that been negotiating this one for a while, and they felt like this percentage range was agreeable to all parties, and kind of kept it out of anything that would be excessive. And so, like I say, cities, counties, and the folks representing our hotels were all at the table, and this is that middle ground that they all found.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other questions on the amendment? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote on the amendment. All those in favor of amendment number 5925 going on to the bill, please say aye. Opposed, no. The amendment is now on the bill. My understanding that the amendment makes the bill. So we have the question on the bill. All those in favor of House Bill 1515 as amended, say aye. Opposed, no. No. Your bill moves on to Finance, Ways and Means.
Thank you, Chairman and Committee.
Agenda number 5 is House Bill 1629 by Representative Warner. This is a local bill. It's represent. Got a proper motion on the bill and second. Representative Warner, you're recognized on your bill, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I apologize for having to come back before you, but we got a date messed up on this bill, and basically what it done, it put 2 of the council members for the city of Lewisburg on a 2-year term instead of on a 4-year term like they should be, if I'm explaining that correct there.
Any questions for the sponsor? Question has been called on the bill. We're ready to vote. All those in favor of House Bill 1629, moving on, please say aye. Opposed, no. Bill moves on to calendar and rules.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee.
Item number 6 on today's agenda is House Bill 1627 by Representative Shaw. If there be no objection, he will present from his seat. Proper motion and second on the bill. We have also received the 2/3 majority resolution from his governing body. Representative Shaw, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for letting me stay at my seat. This applies to the city of Bolivar, Tennessee only. They are redoing their city charter. And of course, they're asking us to approve it and for it to go back as a 2/3 vote. Some of the things that's in this particular charter arrangement is the mayor is going to be able to appoint the city recorder. One thing that's important about this, his salary he'll be hired as a city, as part of the city and be paid along with the other city employees. There are several other things in the charter that they're changing that you'll find in the bill. And of course, I'll just ask if there's any questions, I'll try to answer them.
We received the question on the bill. We're ready to vote. All those in favor of House Bill 1627, moving on, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Representative Shaw, your bill moves on to calendar and rules.
Thank you, sir.
Give me 1 second here, please.
Yeah. No, that's.
All right. Item number 7 is House Bill 1624 by Chairman Sexton. He's going to present from his seat. Do I have a motion on the bill? Proper motion and second on the bill. We have received a 2/3 majority resolution. It is in my office. Representative Sexton, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you for letting me present this bill from my seat. And this is just a private act for Granger County asking for a 5% motel tax for Granger County. I'll be glad to answer any questions, but it's what's being done quite often.
We do have a member that had his hand up before the question was called. Representative Chairman Williams, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. And this may be for legal, not necessarily on your bill, but based upon the other bill that we just passed a moment ago, if his local community wanted to do 4%, they could do it by local ordinance at home. But if they wanted to exceed the 4% and do 5 like he's proposed here, would they have to come back to this body?
Without objection, we will go out of session to hear from legal.
Thank you,
Legal.
Matt Mundy. Chairman, the way this would work is it's kind of a race to the finish line. So if that local bill gets adopted by this body and passed and then goes to the local government for ratification before Representative Cochran's bill is, if it passes and gets signed by the governor and goes into law, then they would have a 5% hotel motel tax that would be grandfathered in.
Representative Williams.
Thank you, Chairman. I do think, based on that as consideration, it might be good for the chairman to contact Representative Cochran to ensure that all the members' bills that came through your committee were passed on the House floor and engrossed before his bill does, so that the work of this body wouldn't be erased based upon his passage.
Thank you, Chairman Williams, for the suggestion. We've already spoke to Chairman Sexton and Representative Cochran, and they both want to continue to run their bills. So at this time, we will, whoever crosses the finish line first, I guess, will be what's in place. Question for legal, Chairman Moon, you're recognized.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Taking up on what my colleague from Cookville brought up, if the Cochran bill, and forgive me for labeling it that, if it is successful and goes into law, will that cap each city and county at 4%? So they really wouldn't be in order or proper to come back to the legislature to go above that cap. I just need to have that clear in my mind.
Legal, you're recognized.
Thank you. The answer is no, that there would be no reason for them to come back to go above the statutory limitations. The only way that they could do that is if we ended up in the situation that we're trying to deal with Representative Cochran's bill, where we have a statute and about 25 carve-outs from it. So, and I think that's kind of what we're trying to avoid with Cochran's bill, and so wouldn't want to get in that situation again.
Any other questions while we're out of session for legal? Seeing none, we'll back into session, and Chairman Sexton, you're recognized on your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I appreciate the heads up from my colleague from Cookville. That is exactly what we're trying to do. I would like to see, if the Cochran bill passes, that mine crosses the finish line before his does. And I hope that would be, the sentiment. I mean, we're all in the same session. 112th General Assembly. We've already passed some. We passed one yesterday on the House floor. And I'm sure that my county wouldn't have any problem with the Cochran bill, but they've asked me to do this. They've went through the process of getting the 2/3 majority, and I just want to see if I can push this through. So I would appreciate your vote on that.
Any other questions for the sponsor? Question has been called. We're ready to vote on House Bill 1624. All those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed, no. If you want to be recorded as a no, please see the clerk. Your bill moves on to calendar and rules, Chairman. Before we close, does any members have any announcements or personal orders? Seeing none, we'll move on. A quick announcement is the final calendar and special calendar of local government committee will be heard next week, April 27th, 2021. So members, if you have not already put your bills on notice, you have till 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved. We are adjourned.